Friends, I hope you're enjoying Modern Reformation's current issue on the arts. A well-known little poem by Emily Dickinson begins with the vivid line, "Tell all the truth, but tell it slant." It's easy to take that advice as if it were meant as a recipe for deception. While we may not want to lie outright, we should still present the truth with a little wink, in a way that makes it more likely that others will accept what we have to say because they don't quite realize what they're agreeing to. But I doubt that "tell it slant" was meant as counsel to deceive. Dickinson ends her little poem this way, "The truth must dazzle gradually, or every man be blind." Truth, she gives it a capital T, is such a strong brew that it will go straight to our heads if we drink it all at once. We must give truth time to be savored, to reveal its flavors. So sometimes it's best to tell it and hear it slant. The Christian philosopher Soren Kierkegaard called this slanted way of telling the truth indirect communication. Through direct communication of truth, we convey information in a straightforward way for others to consider, understand, and hopefully agree. In contrast, through indirect communication, we invite others to go on a journey of discovering the truth. Through direct communication, we point out the truth to others. Through indirect communication, we help them find it. For Kierkegaard, Jesus is the undisputed master of indirect communication. Think about it. Through parables about farming and housework and weddings, Jesus amazed crowds, exposed Pharisees, and instructed disciples. In these small stories of everyday life, Jesus embedded mountains of spiritual treasure to be enjoyed by those with eyes to see and ears to hear. And those who couldn't see or hear the truth were exposed as spiritually blind and deaf. That's the power of telling all the truth, but telling it slant. The arts are one of the most powerful ways we have of telling the truth slant. Of course, as in Jesus' parables, storytelling is a mighty art indeed. Any good poet or novelist will prefer to show rather than tell. If a character is supposed to be mad when he gets off the phone, most good writers won't write, "That call made me angry," John said. They'll write, "John threw his phone across the room." We learn that John is angry in either case, but showing us makes us feel it in a way that telling us doesn't. Music and the visual and performing arts speak even more indirectly than novels and poetry, but no less powerfully. They don't explain truth to our eyes and ears, but they confront us with its undeniable reality. Yet, as Christians, we're often suspicious of indirect communication precisely because it doesn't teach in a clear and straightforward way. Can't someone just as easily slant a lie? There's an uncomfortably fine line between parable and propaganda. But just because indirect communication can serve falsehood doesn't mean its power is inherently evil. The line between parable and propaganda is razor thin, but so is the sharp edge of the sword of truth, which cuts so deep that it discerns the thoughts and intentions of the heart. Hebrews 4:12. There's a reason the Spirit gave us so much of Scripture as narrative and verse. If nothing else, communicating through stories and music and other works of artistry powerfully reveals the artist behind the works. And for those of us who recognize that truth ultimately means conformity to God and His Word, indirect communication can also be a holy, gracious weapon in the war to reach human hearts. So whether we present it straight or slant, let's trust the truth, capital T, to work wonders.